Hello, my name is Michael Wilczynski, and this is my presentation, Communicating with AI. It is a summary of a TED Talk done by Janelle Shane on the same topic. The danger of artificial intelligence is not that it's going to rebel against us, but that it's going to do exactly what we ask it to do. That's a quote from Janelle Shane, the AI researcher. In her TED Talk, The Danger of AI is Weirder Than You Think, she illustrates that AI does not yet measure up to human brains. She shows this by sharing the weird, somewhat alarming antics of AI as it attempts to solve human problems. Janelle Shane is an optics research scientist, an artificial intelligence researcher, writer, and public speaker. She runs a popular science blog called AI Weirdness, where she documents various machine learning algorithms. She published the book You Look Like a Thing and I Love You, How AI Works and Why It's Making the World a Weirder Place, in November 2019. This book covers many of the topics from her AI Weirdness blog for a general audience. Shane opens her presentation with ice cream flavors which an AI generated, after being given 1,600 different flavors to work with. These flavors the AI came up with were pumpkin trash break, peanut butter slime, and my personal favorite, strawberry cream disease. She uses this situation to show that current AI will do what we ask it to do, but it might not do what we wanted. Shane then transitions to another example. Say you tell an AI to take a collection of robot parts and assemble them into some kind of robot to get from point A to point B. You don't tell it how to solve the problem, you just give it the goal, and it has to figure out for itself through trial and error how to reach that goal. She then shows that the AI tends to solve this problem by assembling itself into a tower and then falling over, landing at point B. She uses this example to show that the danger of AI is not that it's going to rebel against us, it's that it's going to do exactly what we ask it to do, even if it doesn't do it how we want. She then asks the question, how do we set up the problem so that it actually does what we want? Shane then illustrates that an AI only knows data that you give it. The AI doesn't know about anything else, and it is through this data that we often tell the AI to do the wrong thing. She showed this by telling a story about a group of researchers who trained an AI to identify a tench, a type of trophy fish, in pictures. But then, when they asked it what part of the picture it was actually using to identify the fish, it highlighted human fingers. Why would it be looking for human fingers if it's trying to identify a fish? Because the tench is a trophy fish. In a lot of pictures that the AI had seen of this fish during training, the fish looked like this. The AI didn't know that the fingers weren't part of the fish. It had no way of knowing that the man and the fish were not the same object or entity. It thought that the fingers were actually attached to the fish. She uses this example to lead into the topic of self-driving cars and why they are so difficult for programmers to develop. It is very difficult to design an AI that actually knows what it is looking at. There was a fatal accident in 2016 when somebody was using Tesla's autopilot AI. But instead of using it on the highway like it was designed for, they used it on city streets. A truck drove out in front of the car, and the car failed to brake. The AI was trained to recognize trucks in pictures, but the AI was trained to recognize trucks on a highway, where you would expect to see trucks from behind. You don't usually see trucks from the side on a highway, and so when the AI saw this truck, it looks like the AI recognized it as most likely to be a road sign and therefore safe to drive underneath. She then gives an example of an AI misstep from the company Amazon. Amazon recently had to give up on a resume sorting algorithm that they were working on when they discovered that the algorithm had learned to discriminate against women. Amazon had trained it on example resumes of people who they had hired in the past. From these examples, the AI learned to avoid resumes of people who had the word women somewhere in the resume. So, things like Women's Soccer Team or Society of Women's Engineers. The AI didn't know that it wasn't supposed to copy this, and technically it did what they asked it to do. They just accidentally asked it to do the wrong thing. She wraps up her presentation by saying that when we work with AI, it is up to us to avoid problems. We have to learn how to communicate with AI and understand that AI doesn't really understand what we're asking it to do. Its entire world is just the data that we give it. So AI is going to do exactly what we ask it to do, whether we like the outcome or not. And then I'd like to end my presentation with a few questions. Are these problems that AI has, or problems with our current generation of developers and innovators? Wouldn't further training and development of these AIs iron out most of these problems? And how exactly is this training done? Shouldn't the programmers be able to weed out most of the unwanted responses? Thank you for listening to my presentation. If you'd like to see Janelle's entire TED Talk, a link to it will be in the description of this video. Thank you.